If you can marry any Pokemon,
dude,
who would it be?
What? Why does everyone ask that? They're animals.
Well, I know. It's
Some
gross.
of them look like humans, but they're
in
they're
a world
animals.
where you are a Pokemon, who would you marry?
No comment.
Is it Gardevoir?
No.
Who else?
Lopunny is like the Playboy bunny design.
Oh my gosh.
They intentionally did that, actually.
Realistically, though,
Me personally, I'd go with...
I think it's kind of weird.
I'd go with Garchomp.
People kind of have crushes on some of the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Who are the other ones, that they call, quote, thick?
Oh, I know Lucario is a furry fan favorite.
Oh, man.
Because it looks like a furry suit. Are we recording?
We are.
That's not good.
Good morning.
Let's argue. Sorry that you guys had to hear all of that.
Yeah.
But today, we're talking about Pokemon cards.
Yes.
That was really loud. I apologize. I just saw the wavelength. That's my bad. I'm really sorry about that.
It's okay.
The amplitude was a little bit too high. So, we're going to talk about some of our favorite Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Our least favorite Pokemon cards.
I know.
And why he hates Rayquaza. Because he's... No, I'm kidding. Shiny Rayquaza, though. I want to bring up Shiny Rayquaza.
I love Rayquaza.
Shiny Rayquaza could be the most overrated Pokemon in the entire world. Do I care? No. He's sick, dude.
My favorite Rayquaza cards are the ones from, early, mid-2010s.
I think Pokemon
the EX
cards...
and Mega EX.
I think Pokemon cards really skyrocketed in quality during the Mega and EX era. You had stuff like Evolutions, which was the reprints of the old cards, but then you had old card aesthetics on a Mega Charizard and a Mega Blastoise. Our friend who's going to be speaking with us about Spider-Man pretty soon has the full art Mega Venusaur EX rare from Evolutions.
How much is that worth?
It's got a hefty price on it. So I'm going to have to break his knees.
Speaking of
See
which,
if Spider-Sense can get him out
I
of
have
that.
a really sad story to tell. So,
That's what we should tell.
I think it was
Pokemon card stories.
2014 or 2015 when I first got into Pokemon. It was because I was at a birthday party and I got a gift bag. There's a pack of Pokemon. I got nothing good in that pack, but there was a Caterpie, and I loved that card so much. It's a card that no one cared about, but for some reason loved it.
And that was his first hit.
Pack. Yeah.
That's when his addiction started.
Yeah. So then I wanted to buy some more packs, and I didn't know that EXs and Megas were a thing. I didn't really realize that they're rare and good cards, whatever. But yeah, so I got into that, and I eventually got into collecting some of the more rarer cards. I had some good stuff. I had Mega Charizard Y and X.
Oh,
I forgot from which pack. So nice. I had some of the tins. I think it was a Rayquaza tin. Mm-hmm. That's worth what, $500 now?
It's $500 now, yeah.
Yeah. So I had a pretty good collection of some cards that are worth a good amount of money now. But you see, that was a time when I was young and I didn't realize that Pokemon were worth anything.
Things were about to change.
Yes. So yeah, one time I kind of got bored of my collection for some reason and I decided to bury it, which I uncovered a year later, and the cards were
unsurprisingly
bent from the pressure of the ground and weather changes. Yeah, so that happened.
It's a horror story unlike any other, folks.
And then somehow, well, I know I had people take my cards without my permission and traded it with other people, and was really angry because they traded some good cards, which I actually ended up getting back. That was a whole dispute between angry parents and misunderstandings. But yeah, so I lost a few cards through that, and then I just kind of got bored of collecting, so eventually all my cards just got lost besides a few. Dang. The Scizor EX I gave you.
Scizor EX that you found, yeah.
Yeah.
That one's in pretty good condition.
I had a good collection. I had a lot of good cards. I can't really remember all of them, unfortunately.
I know for a fact a lot of the better cards I had a full art Zygarde EX and a shiny Gyarados EX when I was younger.
Zygarde EX too.
I want to tell you all a tragic tale that involves a very...
Wait, I need to finish my tale first. Sorry.
You're done? Oh, wow. Sounded like you were done.
Yeah, so I lost it wasn't like a huge collection. I had probably 100 rare cards, but some of those cards now are worth a lot of money. And yeah, I lost basically all of those. Really sad.
Such a tragedy. And that's why you don't buy things. Because money is only worth it while you have it.
Yes. All right, your story.
Anyway,
now.
my tragic story involves a very fun YouTuber friend of mine. His name is Surfer VFX. Go check him out on his channel. He just posted a Lethal Company short recently.
Love that game.
So him and I went to the same charter school when we were younger, which was unfortunate because we also both had a debilitating Pokemon addiction. And when we first... I think it was actually Surfer who first started bringing us Pokemon cards to school, but soon enough, like wildfire, that craze for Pokemon spread like no other. Mm-hmm. So soon enough, I was bringing my Pokemon cards too. I had accrued quite the collection. I actually traded a kid, for the sake of privacy, we'll call him Max. I traded him out of a Golden Mega Steelix EX Full Art for a Promo Mega Aerodactyl EX, which was very bad. And if by any chance, theoretical Max, you were listening to this, I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve that, and you were a nice kid, and I'm so sorry about that. That was that was unholy. But what I'm trying to say is I was a good businessman. And from there, a lot more trading started happening to the point when they couldn't even get us to leave recess sometimes, which was in a basement, by the way. This was a kind of ghetto charter school at the start. So what started happening was more and more kids were getting their Pokemon cards taken away. Surfer almost went completely like underground with his cards. Like everyone started like hiding their cards whenever we'd go out to recess and stuff. And one day I remember the teachers finally cracked because my awful teacher took my shiny Gyarados EX, my Zygarde Full Art, and a Rayquaza, a Mega Rayquaza EX. Not shiny, but it's still a Mega Rayquaza EX. And I was like, how could you do this to me?
Did she or he, I don't know what gender.
They never gave it back.
Never.
Never.
Are you serious?
And I did.
How did you never tell this to me?
I didn't know how to report her because in my mind, if the teacher took it, either I was getting it back one day or I could never get it back. So that was the day I tragically lost some of the nicest cards in my collection. And
they seriously took that away from you. They
yeah.
never gave it
hey,
back.
You went to that school at one point. You know how they were. But that was when they
awful.
were even worse.
Yeah, I don't think you can really... that's stealing.
That's literally stealing.
In trouble.
But hey,
they're not really supposed to take away your
you've
personal
seen
belongings.
You've seen cartoons where they'll like confiscate stuff. Like they have like a whole collection of stuff like that. They're totally allowed to confiscate things.
I don't even think they're allowed to take away phones. I know they can kick you out of like class and give you detention, but they can't actually take your personal belongings.
Either way, it was tragic, and they totally got away with it because I was too nervous to stand up for myself. Me today I would have like grabbed a bat, and a Crobat to be specific, and I would have told him to use fury swipes on the teacher's face, but that's besides the point.
We wouldn't actually hurt anyone.
More recently, we've accrued quite the collection of Pokemon cards, haven't we?
We've got a good collection for the amount of money that we earn. We've got a good collection.
We've got a quite decent one.
In fact, we actually kind of spent too much money.
Yeah.
Thankfully, lately, we've been so broke that we haven't really been able to spend
I want to introduce
money.
you guys to the cruel mistress known as Crown Zenith.
We actually have some money now, which is good.
Yeah.
But,
I think if we sold our Pokemon cards, we'd have a lot more money.
That's kind of the point, actually, was investing.
Was investing in Pokemon cards, which is
Speaking of which...
By the way, don't do it. No, I'm kidding. You actually...
I think you have to do a lot of research on how to invest Pokemon first.
Yeah. a big part of the market for Pokemon we've discovered is it changes so much so quickly. Crown Zenith went from one of the highest value packs on the market to now one of the biggest crashes on TCG Player.
Well,
and
here's the
newer stuff especially is definitely lower because of its unrealistic distribution rates.
When a new card set is released, it's always worth like the most money for like a month because it's new, it's great, everyone
no one else
wants
can get
it.
their hands on it.
And it's hard to get your hands on it, so people pay premiums for it. But then it goes down in value a lot, drastically, usually cut into thirds.
Yeah.
Which I've seen with Obsidian Flame, Crown Zenith.
Sad story of Obsidian Flames.
Even 151, which is newer.
Yeah. Honestly, the biggest trend that it will never go away in Pokemon cards is when it first comes out, those cards, no one knows how rare they are yet. So people will be willing to pay $500 for it up front.
Yeah.
And unless it's a celebration pack, it's going to go down. But that's the weird thing is rare collections or celebration packs sometimes go up.
Yeah.
And that is insane. Stuff like Crown Zenith at the beginning of its life actually going up instead of down. The Evolutions packs getting far more expensive. I don't know if you ever got the pack with Shiny Hoopa in it, but Shiny Hoopa EX, I think it was called Ancient Origins.
Yeah.
That thing is unreal. It will go for hundreds of dollars on just about every single rare card.
Yeah.
$1,300 for the Elite Trainer box. And it's not even 10 years old yet. So it's definitely really interesting to see. One of my favorite things that I've enjoyed doing with you is like checking the prices and seeing how they've changed. It's really cool to see
in fact
how the market
I want to add
adapts.
real quick. We're just going to talk about our experience with investing in Pokemon. Now, that said, we have not sold a single card because, we're investing, we're waiting for it to go up in value. But here's a lot of things that we've begun to notice, and we are not experienced really at all.
Totally.
But we have a close eye on the market at all times, and we've begun to notice a lot of things, and we can help you not make bad decisions. And here is probably the biggest thing that I've noticed with, I'd say, most Pokemon packs is that you're better off buying boxes that come with a promo card. Not like the cheap ones you get at Target that come with some crappy just regular rare card, but like let's say like a Charizard box, those boxes unopened retain the most value.
Yeah, because not only is there a promo card that you can no longer get after a while. Oh, actually, let me rephrase this. At the beginning of its life, promo cards, you guys are gonna think are crazy, because at the beginning of their life, promo card boxes are garbage. They don't go for anything. They actually go for less than market value until later on.
Unless if it's Charizard.
Unless it's Charizard. Unless, time runs out, you can't get that promo card anymore. What once was easy to get is impossible now. So that exponentially raises. On top of that, if it's filled with guaranteed packs like an Elite Trainer box is, and that set is really good, then its value is going to skyrocket. For example, we know that the the shiny box for Mega Rayquaza. At first, you could get shiny Mega Rayquaza EX boxes everywhere. I almost did when I was little, and for some reason
I think I got one of those.
I didn't.
I think that's the one I got.
I have the promo of the normal Rayquaza EX, but not Mega. But anyway, that was super open and available. You could get that whenever. It was almost overstocked. Yeah. And so it would seem that it would go down in price given its, innate supply over, little demand. But as time ran out on when you could get that, suddenly Mega Rayquaza boxes are gone. You can't get them anywhere. They will skyrocket in value. So that's definitely something to look out for. One of the main things you can do with promo boxes is guarantee value, because if you get a promo box, you may not get anything out of the packs, but at least you got a pretty sick promo card that will most likely increase in price later on.
Yeah. Well, and also the I don't know this for sure, but what I've noticed at least is that you get way more return on money with not opening the boxes than opening up all the packs, searching for that 1 to 5 rare cards
Right.
that will be worth way more than those individual packs.
Absolutely.
But if you look at like the that first generation of Pokemon cards, the early stuff, an unopened pack is worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like what, $1,000 for like the first release, right?
Yeah.
And that's just for a singular pack. That's not like a special tin or box.
Totally.
Now, the rarest cards in those, what was one sold for? Like, what, 100,000?
I think the Charizard
20,000?
was sold for $25,000.
Yeah.
And that was ungraded. So,
I mean, there's a chance you can get that card, but
that's the big thing is if you have a box that has a chance of having the best card in that set,
you can sell that box.
then you can sell that box for maybe even more than the card itself. So big value comes from the idea that you could literally get that card every single time in this set and thus have a higher value for that box. But it's risky because maybe you don't get anything.
Yeah.
So that's another big trend. I'd like to introduce trend number 3. Its name is Charizard.
Yeah.
Charizard
Along with Mewtwo.
and Pikachu. I would say those 3 are the heavy hitters. But it's mostly Charizard.
It's mostly Charizard.
Let's be real, it's mostly
Charizard basically makes something worth more money.
Charizard is
Automatically.
actually like the main moneymaker for Pokemon, I'm convinced.
I don't know who the most popular one is, but
It's
my guess is Charizard.
technically Greninja, but Charizard
Really?
is a number 4.
We haven't really seen
from the
much
last
Greninja
poll.
lately, have we?
No, unfortunately. It's really sad. He's underutilized. But yeah, the biggest trend in Pokemon is that Charizard will always, literally almost always be the top card in any set in which he's included. Look at the past 5 years of sets that have Charizard, excluding Crown Zenith Trainer Gallery. Excluding Trainer Galleries, and you will find Charizard EX or V or VMAX at the very top every time. Even more so if it's Shiny Charizard.
Yeah.
Because black shinies are dope. There's no getting around it. Shiny Greninja is probably one of the best shinies ever made. So that's another one is Charizard will automatically make more money as a character than anything else. So automatically if Charizard is in a set, if you want to hunt for a good card and you get a Charizard, that's the card that you need to hold on to.
Or hunt for just the boxes even.
Yeah.
Keep the boxes unopened.
Speaking of which,
I feel like those will...
Paldean Fates is coming up, and there is a
Really?
shiny Charizard tin, which will definitely be the one that I'm buying, because not only do I want the
We're
promo,
excited.
but I know that it's going to be worth a lot. So
Oh, speaking of which, I've been opening just a few packs of 151, and I'm not... They've got some really cool cards. As far as pull rates go, I've had really bad luck.
yeah, I think our idea of pull rates is pretty skewed, because I don't do enough research on it, but some people have gotten some pretty good pulls from 151, and I don't know what to think anymore, because I only opened like 10 packs from that one.
Same, but I've gotten basically nothing.
Yeah.
Now that
Except
said,
that you pulled the Venusaur EX that we got. And
was
that's
crazy.
the one card I wanted
it's
from that
worth
set.
what, $40?
Yeah.
It's pretty good value. Oh, and also, when you're selling Pokemon cards, usually it's done online, and you have to factor in shipping, and if you want to grade cards, that all costs money.
Yeah.
It's
Grading
it's tough.
costs a minimum of $30 per card.
It's also a lot of labor.
Yeah.
So
That's another thing. If you want to ever grade cards, which I would say in some cases is totally worth it.
we haven't
just
graded
keep in
any
mind
yet, though, have we?
that we haven't. Keep in mind that it is a $30 grading fee. So if you're not going to make more than $30 off the card, it's not even worth it unless you just really want to show off that you have a sick 10 out of 10 card.
A 10 out of 10 can quadruple value.
Yeah, a
But,
PSA 9 from PSA 10 difference is outrageous. I saw the Charizard EX from 151 was between $900 at PSA 9 and like $500.
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. So
There's so many things to
make or break
consider.
the value. Oh,
We
so
went
much.
into this wanting to invest, thinking this was going to be easy money. No, it's not.
You really have to keep track of.
You
a
can
lot.
earn money. You can.
You can.
A lot of
And
people do it.
A lot of people do.
But it's a lot of work, and we're busy.
Yeah, you need to keep an eye on the whole market all the time, and that's pretty hard to do
And
because
plus,
it's always
you gotta
changing.
manage your online shop. or in-person
True.
shop.
And it doesn't help that Pokemon's making new stuff that's a lot more quantity over quality recently. So like
That's the thing.
As soon as you think that you've got everything from a set, here comes a new one.
Crown Zenith and Obsidian Flames especially kind of spoiled us with its amazing drop rate.
Yeah.
With good
Here's
cards.
the difference, though. I would say there's a massive difference. Crown Zenith, first of all, was in no way as guaranteed as Obsidian Flames was. Obsidian Flames, I was literally getting more rares than I wasn't, which is never okay in my opinion. Because at that point, you're making a product, not a collectible.
Yeah.
So it ruins all the fun.
Well, yeah, at that point, it decreases the value in the cards exponentially.
It also increases the value or decreases the value in the experience.
Exactly.
And that's a huge part of it for me, is opening the cards itself can be such a fun thrill. And Crown Zenith captured that well, if not spoiled us a little bit. Obsidian Flames didn't, because it felt like I was getting too much for so little.
Yeah. And, bad pull rates is sometimes a good thing, because cards will retain their value more.
Yeah.
Exponential value, so that means, like, if it had they had more of that card, let's say double that amount of rare card, but it wouldn't be worth half the value, it'd be worth like a quarter.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I think another thing that you need to look out for while Pokemon hunting is don't get discouraged, because you'll think that you're not doing that well at like finding stuff and you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Look it up. Check things out. If you're not doing that well, reevaluate and think how you could do better.
It's also, YouTube is an amazing source of information.
Absolutely. I think people like PokeRev and I don't remember his name. His name just completely left my mind. There are a bunch of Pokemon YouTubers that will give you tons of tips on how to like
authentic
find cards,
sellers who have big
cards.
shops.
Totally. There's so many resources where you can find out how you can be doing better and where to invest. Especially the where to invest. If you're looking at what cards to get, PTCG Radio has a lot of news about upcoming Pokemon sets and whether or not cards are getting expensive, whether cards are getting silly expensive, stuff like that. So honestly, just use your resources. The Pokemon community, despite hating Pokemon more than they do loving it, was a very close-knit community full of people who really want to help each other out. Another trend, actually, that I just remembered is waifu cards sell like print money, honestly. If a character on a card is hot to anybody, it will probably be the highest selling card. Iono from the Electric Gym in Scarlet and Violet, or maybe her name's Lono. I don't know. She sold at $300 in every set that she appeared in. So if you get a card and you're like, dang, this character is hot as heck or something, or if the character on the trainer card is super popular, chances are then they're going to be a really popular pick later on. Oh,
Also, as values increasing and decreasing, the initial release of something, it had the boom where it's worth a lot, and then it drastically plummets in value. And this is just a trend that I've noticed. And this is because I've noticed this because I've looked at a lot of previous packs and I look at their values compared to the amount of time they've been out. And I feel like it takes about usually 5 years for it to gain for the cards, the desirable cards, to gain some actual value again. Or maybe sometimes a year.
If any card sticks out quicker than that, though, it's going to be like a heavy hitter. It is definitely a better idea to wait than it is to spring on a card early on. If you try to sell a card, this is something I've noticed a lot. If you try to sell a card early on in the life, you're either going to get a really good value out of it because it's at a much higher price, or you're going to completely tank because you're selling it, its price goes way down, and the price you're selling it at doesn't go anywhere. So now you're not making any money.
So cards, you have to sell at the initial boom, or you gotta wait a long time for those to gain some value.
Absolutely.
Again. And with that, some cards that may have been worth a lot at the initial boom will decrease in value as time goes on. Instead of increase, because sometimes it's overproduction, or sometimes it just people lose interest and they start appreciating some underappreciated cards.
Like Giratina V-Star, totally skyrocketed near the middle of Crown Zenith's life, which was kind of out of nowhere. I want to talk to you. What's your favorite Pokemon card pull or like pull story? Or like what's your top 3 favorite cards that you've ever seen?
I know our favorite cards of all time, or at least
I know,
share one in common.
I know we definitely both like Simisear V-Star
Simisear
way more than
V-Star
anyone should.
from
Crown Zenith.
Not Obsidian Flames, yeah.
Crown Zenith Trainer Gallery.
There's 2 Simisear V-Stars, I think.
Yeah, there's the normal one and then there's the full art one that we like a lot. Yeah, the full art
textured one. We kind of like it because he looks
so funny,
kind of goofy.
It's like the funniest, most like funny drawn card we've ever gotten. And
we actually ended up like, it is a cool card.
It is a sick card. We were like, at first we were like, look at this goofy card, and then we got it and saw it in person. We were like, dude, it's better than I could have imagined.
Oh yeah, funny thing. We went to a Pokemon seller, and
this was such a sad story.
He had a Simisear, a few Simisears he was selling. We bought one for like $12. And then I think it was later that week.
It was literally the next day.
We went to buy some packs to open some Pokemon, and we dropped a Simisear V-Star. We got one, which is fine with me, because then we both get the Simisear V-Star, our favorite card.
Now we have 2.
You do. Yeah, when we pick up that card, we are careful. Our hands kind of shake.
I know. I almost don't ever want to like even look at it wrong for fear of ruining it. It's such a good-looking card, honestly.
Now, what are your 2 other favorite cards of all time?
That's going to be a tricky one, but I know...
It is tricky. Or at least ones that you love just a lot, you know?
Yeah, I'll name a few. First of all, I'm a huge sucker for Pikachu cards, and so Pikachu VMAX from Lost Origin, where Red is sitting with his cap in front of him.
We got that one,
and giant Pikachu's behind him. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. The Venusaur EX that you pulled is really nice looking from Pokemon 151. It looks really nice, the full art. I always love Rayquaza cards. I don't think there's a single Rayquaza card I don't like. And I'm a huge sucker for Pikachu cards, like I said, so I really like Pikachu cards. Mm-hmm. But I think my favorite cards were probably from the X and Y era. I don't think you can beat Mega cards ever. Mega Rayquaza EX is gorgeous.
I love the styles that they're doing now, especially with all the full arts.
Right.
And they're amazing. They're different from the old stuff,
which
I'd say is just as good as the new stuff. Now, something else we could talk about is the GX stuff. That's not good. But let's not talk about that anymore.
Okay, wait. So I used to hate GX, but now one of my favorite cards is Pikachu and Zekrom GX Gold Art. Mm-hmm. Because the gold one and like full art cards...
Gold's a little different.
Gold cards and full art cards on GXs look sick. Normal GX is probably the ugliest card I've ever seen.
They just weren't that interesting.
They weren't.
Actually, I would say a lot of the new EXs are kind of with the gray border.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate the gray border so bad.
I think the EXs have the gray border too, some of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are kind of lame too.
I like dark...
Now the rare cards are...
I like the dark border, blue border from Team Plasma, or yellow. That's it. All the gray looks so bad.
I like black border too.
Black border is pretty good. I think gray looks better for the Scarlet and Violet full arts than yellow. Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon
those
are very nice cards. They've got the gold edges and the black Pokemon. Honestly, can we just say for a fact that black shinies are probably the best ones every time?
Wait, what are the...
Black shinies include Greninja, Charizard, Mega Rayquaza, Primal Kyogre, Primal Groudon.
I'm looking up a photo real quick.
Of what?
Black shiny Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, let's just look up a few.
So...
One of the reasons Black Greninja is my favorite, though, is because he looks like an actual ninja.
Yeah, those are amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Charizard is the one example where I like a Pokemon better when it's shiny. I do not like normal Charizard, but shiny Charizard is sick. Haxorus with his black shiny, that one in the middle. Oh.
So good.
Makes me want to just... Oh, it's so beautiful. Kyurem also has a black shiny.
Oh, I love... One of my favorite cards is like a Kyurem EX a while ago, which I lost that card with my previous collection. Oh yeah, so speaking of my other favorite cards, I love the rainbow rare cards so
Oh,
much.
yes,
I forgot the particular name. We put it in our vault of our favorite cards. But we got one in there.
We have 2 rainbow shiny Melmetal VMAXs.
Melmetal, that's right.
And we pulled them twice in a row.
I freaking love that card because it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the gaudy Pokemon cards. So like the black and gold one that we got. I also forgot the name of that Pokemon, but it's just beautiful art.
There was Eternatus, and we also got Pikachu as well, remember?
Which are both Pikachu beautiful. I personally like the Eternatus more. But yeah, rainbow rares and the black and gold ones.
You know what'd be sick?
I love those.
I know there's a black and gold Rayquaza VMAX, but a black and gold card with Rayquaza, Mega Rayquaza, make the gold only the outline and just make the black the rest of the Pokemon. Mm-hmm. That would look sick.
That would be cool.
I think Rayquaza has some of my favorite cards. Some of my top 10 favorite cards are probably all Rayquaza.
Now, what I find funny, though, is that the rainbow rares and the gold and black cards, they always have some sort of value. Usually it's around $10.
Rainbow rares are usually higher in value, too. But black and
rainbow
gold cards
will usually get you $10 to $20 for the most part.
Unless it's Charizard VMAX, in which case it will be...
Oh, and there's the rainbow rare, the dinosaur dude. What is his name?
The dinosaur dude? Oh, we have it? Yeah. Oh, Dragonite.
Yeah, Dragonite.
Yeah, that one's like $30.
He used to be $50. Maybe not anymore.
I don't know.
But yeah, usually those fetch you between $10 to $20. But the black and gold ones fetch you between like $5 and $15 usually.
Yeah, or like $2.
I find it interesting.
They are the actual rarest pulls in the pack.
They're the rarest, and in my opinion, the coolest.
Yeah, they look really good. I wonder. We're gonna have to look that up because I don't see what could possibly make that the worst card. The same thing actually is true for gold. But if there's a gold full art and a normal full art, and the gold full art is exactly the same as the full art, the gold full art will be much less. And I'm not sure what that's about.
I mean, this is just a trend we noticed, but we don't know why they're not worth as much. Yeah. Unless maybe they are less rare, but...
There's a slight possibility that it's a cheaper material or something, and so people prefer maybe a more expensive, heavier material.
I mean, maybe.
It could be. I'm just trying to throw ideas out there because I really don't know. Actually, you know one of my top favorite cards? Pikachu Luigi. That is the funniest idea for a card I've ever seen, and it just exists. Like, why does it exist? Because Pikachu Luigi.
Another amazing one.
Can we talk about Pikachu Libre for a second? What does shiny Pikachu Libre look like? It's probably a lame shiny. Because have you seen shiny Pikachu? It's super lame.
Oh, speaking of which, other amazing cards, which are very inconsistent in value, are Radiance.
Oh, I love Radiant cards.
Radiance will get you from 50 cents to $20 for a card, depending.
The effect on it is really good.
But like, they're simpler in design, but they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
But like, some of my favorite cards. In fact, actually, Poe here, in his phone case, has got Radiant Venusaur.
I've got a Radiant Venusaur in my phone. And the diamond effect for the shimmer.
Hey, you know what's really funny?
Very unique.
We went to that one Pokemon store, and you bought one that was graded for like $30, I think.
Yep, and then the next day we found one.
And then we pulled 2.
Oh yeah, you're right. We have 3 now.
Yeah, we have 3
that aren't
so
graded.
Funny.
So of course, immediately after, it was like the world mocking me. Okay, this is the difference between shiny Pikachu on the left and normal Pikachu on the right.
I see. Yeah, one's just got more saturation.
Darker tint with pink cheeks. So that's dumb, but you know.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Meanwhile, shiny Mewtwo has a completely different tail color, which is kind of dope. Yeah, shinies are inconsistent. But honestly, my main thing about Pokemon cards is I just love the action of opening Pokemon packs. It's so fun.
It's basically a literal definition of an addiction.
It's like cathartic.
I mean, it releases dopamine in your brain.
It literally does, yeah. It's like when you get a loot box in a video game and it gives you like something nice and your brain is like, oh yeah.
I mean, y'all have had to have seen YouTube videos of people getting amazing drops. Like, they freak out. I mean,
absolutely.
It's an actual addiction.
It's definitely a more...
It's a buying addiction.
It's a buying addiction. It's definitely a more fun way to experience Pokemon, though, than some... Like, I know some people probably open Pokemon and have never touched anything else Pokemon related. They probably don't even play the game. They don't play the card game. They don't watch the show, but they love pulling Pokemon cards. And I love that there's a whole community dedicated to that side of Pokemon.
I don't play the card game. I personally think it's boring. Sorry to offend y'all out there who love the card game.
I actually love it. It's really fun.
Really?
Yeah.
The video games I
while,
occasionally play. The TV show I used to watch, but not anymore. But yeah, it's the cards that does it for me.
Yeah, my main sources of Pokemon media are pulling Pokemon and then Pokken Tournament by itself. That game is... We need to talk about Pokken Tournament at some point because, oh my gosh, that game.
Yeah, Pokemon are...
Yeah, it's so cool how many communities are within Pokemon. And I'm glad that I have been lucky enough to be a part of the Pokemon polling side. It's fun, and I enjoy doing it with you. It's really cool.
It's a lot of fun. Don't... Be careful on how you spend your money.
Be careful on how you spend your money because you may just drop...
We did go crazy.
Upwards of
and we unfortunately learned how to manage our money more by spending too much money.
And then we were like, okay, so we're out of money. How do we buy Pokemon cards now?
And we're like, well, now we have like other things to buy, like gas and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm scared. I'm scared for Paldean Fates to come out because I'm not sure if I can't... Like, I'm not sure what will happen when I buy that Charizard tin.
Yeah.
I'm like... So horrified.
Well, this has been our observations on the Pokemon markets.
Thank you so much for joining us.
These are not facts. These are just observations.
These are just observations and
from
opinions.
Our experience that we're still not very well versed in at all.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to know it a little bit better. If you want more accurate opinions on things from people who have seen it a lot more, again, PokeRev.
Just look it up on YouTube.
PTCG
like
Radio.
Pokemon Investing or whatever.
Pokemon is one of the biggest franchises in the world. You're definitely going to find a few people who know everything about the entire thing. You cannot tell me that was down the whole time.
Alright, well, anyway, goodbye.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Buy some Pokemon.
Have a good day, eat a banana, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.